Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse getting started at 9:02 a.m. Usually 9 a.m. right on the dot. Today running a little behind. I was ahead of schedule. I for sure was ahead of schedule, and then you know get get caught up in looking at the charts and other stuff, whatnot. And here we are, starting 2 minutes late. So if you are new to the channel, awesome. Welcome. Good morning. And if you're returning, even better. Friday, we did a long one. Wow. Friday was like a long special. Felt like everything needed to be covered on Friday. Just seemed like a lot was about to happen. So we spent a lot of time on Friday doing 2 hour special, talking about all the what could happen, right? And then talking about the potential bloodbath or the bloodbath of Bitcoin altcoins. And then of course the bloodbath kept happening, right? So the market crash, whether that's the Nasdaq, Nvidia, the Magnificent Seven, they're all down, like they're all bouncing probably right now. But when I was on the baby night shift, 2 a.m. was it 2? I don't know, 1:45 to 4:45. I was on the baby shift. And so you can see all my tweet storm because I put the baby back to sleep after I fed her. And then I was on a tweet storm. And then finally at 4:45, I called it and I tapped out and I said, "All right, wife, I need a nap." So wife woke up and took over after that. So there we are. There we are. So anyways, that's why I was tweeting a lot or posting a lot on Twitter, aka the X app, at 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. or 3:30 a.m., whatever it was. There was a long time period over there that I was posting. It's because of that. It was because of that. So it's not like I was had insomnia or anything like that. But I was on the baby watch, right? So baby watch. What else? I was changing diapers. I was feeding, rocking her back to sleep. Well, not rocking her. She likes it when I walk her back to sleep. So I pace around. It's like pace around 10 steps, turn around, pace 10 steps. Something like that. And so that's what I was doing. But good morning, crypto noob. Good morning, Javier. Yo, good Black Monday, everyone. Yeah. What's going to happen is, if not already, talking about the Black Swan event, right? Whether they want to, pin the narratives or the news or the noise on war talks or recession talks or whatever, we just follow the charts, right? We follow the charts. And if you look back, this is a Bitcoin weekly chart, but if you look back on the NASDAQ daily chart, for example, on the live stream, we covered bearish divergence on July 11th. Today is August 5th, right? So, yeah, the bloodbath happened. Yeah, the market correction happened. But we were there before it all happened, right? We are the foresight crew. We're not the hindsight crew. But the hindsight crew is going to come out in full force. I told you so, market crash, or I didn't know because of the Black Swan XYZ event that happened. I didn't see it happening. Did we know it was going to have this huge correction and this quickly? Definitely not. Definitely not. I don't have a magic crystal ball, but what I can do is spot divergences in the market, divergences on the relative strength index, and can spot it and call it out of a possible trend reversal at the top after price has been overbought. And then the next day, I can call out a reversal candle that followed bearish divergence, and then the probabilities increase that a trend reversal is coming. And even though obviously none of this is financial advice, and obviously this is for educational purposes only, and hopefully find some entertainment along the way, making fun of me, whatever it is. Then what was I gonna say? Oh, and then when would now be a good time to take profits, right? So you just have to make sure that if you're buying, this is a weekly chart, so I don't trade based off the weekly chart. I look at it to help determine my swing trades on the daily chart. But for example, if you're taking this buy signal over here at 27,000, right, and you start to see divergences, you start to see price overbought, you start to see lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? And then sell signals and the trending dots coming back down, right? When would then be a good time to take profits, right? So you just have to decide what your strategy is and execute it to the best of your ability. If you're a swing trader, if you're a hodler, I don't know why you're watching me in the first place. I can't hodl through a 78% correction. I can't it's just not in me to want to hodl through a 30% correction. So if price is pumped 50, 60, 70%, I'd rather close my position, lock in some gains, even if that's break even if that's a slight loss, even if that's a 7% gain like we had or I had back in here, right? Followed by another gain, a small gain over here. I'd rather do that and go to cash than for me to ride through this, right? There's no way I want to ride all the way down, from 70,000 all the way down 30%, right? We've been covering this for this whole entire consolidation period, right? This whole entire consolidation period, we talked about and covered. Bitcoin has not had a 30% correction since 2022. We've covered that we are not out of the woods yet until we got a daily candle close above 73,100. We never did. Unfortunately, we were hoping we did, right? Or I was hoping we would. I wanted to see much higher prices. I wanted to see price start to go parabolic. That'd be fun, right? Nvidia did, ANF did, even Apple broke out to make new all-time highs again. Nasdaq did all that stuff. So, of course, I was wanting and hoping to go back above 73,100, but it never happened, and we never said we were out of the woods yet. 73,100 was the highest daily candle close, still right around there ish, right? And then since then, it's just been putting in lower highs and lower lows so far, right? So close out this position over here, close this position out over here, right? So that's where we're at right now. Huge wick right now, right? There's a big gap down on the Bitcoin futures we can take a look at. Big gap down, right? And it's starting to close some of that gap. We don't know if it's going to close it all at once, but there's a gap here, 59,490. Eventually, that gap will probably get filled. But getting back on the Bitcoin, what we were talking about, that now we have longer term targets to the downside based off the weekly chart. The weekly chart had another sell signal on Sunday and then just started to dump hard on this new week. So weekly sell signal again at 58,000, and then it just started dumping all the way down to $48,000 in one day, right? One day. There it is, 58,000 to 48,000 one day so far. That's where we're at. It's getting oversold, but when it's oversold, it can remain oversold. And it's sometimes when the magic happens, similar to when price is overbought. You can see the magic wand. Sometimes it's when the magic happens, and it can remain overbought or oversold for much longer than what people think. So I'm not in the business of catching falling knives. It's not my strategy. I'd be waiting for a higher probability reversal based off of the daily chart, the weekly chart, etc. Right? Kind of take a look at all of those. So right now, just waiting for it to bottom out. I'm not in a short position. In hindsight, do I wish I was in a short position? Sure, but I'm not swing trading that as hard. I've got other things going on. I got a newborn, right? So I'm not swing trading as hard. B, I've got major stuff going on behind the scenes that I've talked about in the Discord that I'm working as well. And so there's just only so much brain power to go around. And that is extremely important. Going through the testing over there and stuff like that is much more important than me catching, another swing trade to the downside. So doesn't mean I won't on the next possible bounce. I don't know. I changed my mind, right? I can change my mind anytime I want, but I did not take this short over here. I did not take this short over here. So, hindsight, that would have been a nice short. That would have been a fabulous short on Bitcoin futures, but I did not take it. You could have. There's a sell signal even over here at 65,000, even on before it gapped down on Sunday. So it would have been a good short, but I didn't take it personally. So there we are. I did close out my position though, right? I did close out my position. Took the breakout here after bullish divergence, after reversal candle. Talked about at least the bounce is coming. And since then, that bounce was about 20%, right? By the time I closed out, let's see, and took it, it was probably about 12%, right? Probably about 12%. And then this one over here was only like 7%. So they're small and it was without leverage. So then minus fees and everything, right? So it's small, but I'm out. I got out. Talked about it. We covered it on every single live stream. It's not a copy trading service whatsoever. So the Discord is not a copy trading service. Yes, I do my best to post timely charts of what I'm seeing, possible reversals, possible pullbacks, retracements, all that stuff, breakouts, all that stuff with all the details, right? I try to post all that stuff with the details as timely as possible, but it is not a copy trading service. So it's a learn how to do it yourself service. It's a lot more work, but it's a lot more rewarding, and you don't have to rely on me, right? You won't have to rely on me if you figure it out yourself. But doesn't mean I won't be posting the charts in real time. So I do. And then, of course, I'm continuing to build tools behind the scenes. Like I said, I'm not going to roll out any announcements on live stream or Twitter. I already rolled out an announcement in the Discord. And I don't know if I'm ever going to open it up to the masses. I don't know if I'm ever going to put it on the website, but I will. For those who have been Discord members for a long time, or they were going to get the first shot at any tools, any beta testing that I do. They will be the first ones as a thank you to them for being market snipers and whatnot. Then I will be rolling it out for them at some point. Not right now, but at some point I will be rolling it out. So right now, the back testing has turned into forward testing with a live account with real money. And so we're just doing the forward testing right now, and that's where we're at. What else? What else? What else? Yo, good Black Monday, everyone. Yep. Lots of opportunities. Could be, right? Could be. There's always opportunities when you're a market sniper. When you're not just a hodler, when you're not just a buy the dipper, but you could also short the bounces, and you're neutral, and you are not a perma bear. Because if you're a perma bear on Bitcoin and altcoins, you missed 2023, right? There's going to be a lot of perma bears saying "I told you so," rejoicing, very, very happy, all that stuff. But let's not forget, they missed an entire more than a year, right? More than a year. Bitcoin, we talked about the Bitcoin breakout January 4th. We talked about the bullish divergence back in November and December of 2022. We talked about the breakout and covered January 2023. And so let's not forget all of 2023, perma bears missed that entire run, right? So, if they're rejoicing and they're happy and all that stuff, great. You just missed a year to a year and a half, right? And then on the other side of the coin, this is probably why I don't have too many friends, too many influencer friends, right? And then on the other side of the coin, the perma bulls missed taking profits 2021. They missed taking profits in 2024, right? Uh, on this, at least this local top, right? They missed taking it here. They missed taking it here. They missed taking it here, whatever the case may be. The perma bulls miss it. They missed it in 2021. They thought they were going to do it in 2024, but they thought it was 2025. And, if you're not taking profits back here, say you're taking buy signals, but you're not taking the sell signals, then most likely you didn't sell this local top at least. Maybe it's the top. We don't know. But maybe it's just a local top similar to April 2021, May 2021, at the very least. If you're not taking profits then you're not going to take profits at the top either, right? At the top or a bigger top or a blow off top, you're not going to take profits. If you didn't do it in 2021 and you didn't do it again in 2024, breaking news. I'm sorry to say you're not going to take it at the top again because you let your emotions dictate. You let the noise dictate what you do, and you don't make the decisions. You don't have a plan laid out that you stick to, no matter what your beliefs are. So that's okay. Just you're going to become a forced toddler, and you just have to accept that's what it is, right? You're going to have to accept that you can't block out the noise. You have to accept that you do get caught up in narratives. You do get caught up in the news, and you're just going. It's just what it is, right? So maybe you get lucky, but what's going to happen is if you've already done it twice, 2021 and now again, then you're probably not going to sell a blow off top either, right? So maybe, baby. But yeah, that's why I probably don't have a lot of influencer friends, just because I lost a lot of influencer friends 2022, right? No one wanted to hear it. I was like, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. Shout out to Kelly Kellum, always having me on his show back in 2022. And he called me the resident bear. In hindsight, it was a big market correction. In hindsight, I was right. I was part of the Foresight crew. I thought I was late to the party, but it turns out compared to everyone else, I was pretty early, right? Pretty early. So Kelly asked me to be on his Twitter X Spaces last night, but I was getting ready for bed. I needed a nap before I took the night shift, so I couldn't do it. And I saw it like 20 minutes late, anyways. They were still going. I don't know what they talked about, but obviously they're probably covering Bitcoin, altcoins, stuff like that. And then shout out to Mario Newfall, wanted me to jump on a call at 3 or 4 a.m., but I declined. I said I'm sorry, I can't. I'm on the night watch with the baby. And the baby's my boss, right? I'm chief diaper changer, but the baby is the boss. So the baby is the boss. My dog used to be the boss. Now the baby is. The baby is definitely clearly the boss. So I know I've been rambling a lot, but a lot of mindset talk, a lot of talk. Martina, good morning. Lawrence, we did 2 hours on Friday. I don't think I'm going to do 2 hours today. I don't think so. I didn't have a second Celsius. I only had my normal one. So I don't know if I'll make it that long. I don't know. What's up, Lawrence? Welcome back. Can you take a look at Sol? Yep, I am on longs. Just wondering where I can close it. You're on longs. When did you take the long trade? You took a Sol long trade and you didn't get out? Ugh. I'm not going to give you financial advice, but we'll look at the charts together and let me know exactly what day and what price you got in on Sol for me to look at it. And we'll look at it to the best of our ability without giving financial advice, right? I'm not going to do that. So that's Bitcoin. Let's put on some of the drawings here. Just tell me in the comments. I don't know what the tweet is. I'm not on the live. I'm not going to do it on the live stream. Just give me the basic. Just give me the basics. What else? So this is daily chart, right? So the daily chart, It was starting to break down over here. Had a candle close back below. Just a quick recap. Quick recap. Just relax. We know what happened. We know what happened, Jesse. Oh, you're catching falling knives, Lawrence? Ugh. Yeah, I don't catch falling knives. So you can do it, right? Especially if you're on lower time frames. I take that back. If I was on a very, very, very low time frame, I have taken scalps on the 1 minute chart. I have traded on the 5 minute chart for day trading. I have done it on the 15-minute chart. I have done it on the 1 hour chart. I have done it on the 10-minute chart. I don't think I've ever taken the trade based off the 2 or 3 minute chart, but the 1 minute chart for sure, 5 minute chart, 10-minute chart, 15-minute chart, half an hour, 1 hour chart. I've done it all, right? I've done it all. Wolf wave, and we are in. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't do Elliott wave anyways. I don't do Elliott wave. In some circumstances they work great as probably like an idea, like a pattern or a fractal, but it's not enough for me to build a swing trading strategy off of whatsoever. It's like a 30 to 35% chance that it works out. No, it's like a 50% chance that it probably works out, maybe, if you're really, really good at it. And then it's probably a 30 to 35% chance that it actually hits the targets that you're calling out, in my opinion. Maybe lower. Maybe lower. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. But yeah, I don't catch falling knives, but maybe you're scalping or day trading. So let me just retake that back. So anyways, let's get back into it. So we had the bullish divergence, had the reverse candle, breakout. Never had a daily candle close back above 71,000, right? Had a daily candle close back below the trending dots. Possible double top over here, possible lower high, right? And then there's a pending sell signal. That's when I started to take off the Apple fractal. I said the Apple fractal may not be done yet, but I removed it from the charts, right? Uh, and it was starting to possibly break correlation on there. Doesn't mean it couldn't have just flipped back around. It could have, and then already had these 4 shorter term targets laid out. Then we talked about it. We didn't know it was going to wick all the way down to $49,000 in a matter of, what is that? 6 days. We didn't know that for sure, right? We didn't know that at all, really. But we did see it start to break back down over here, right? We mapped out these 4 targets, and then if you remember, we had a green arrow up over here and a red arrow down here. So as it was breaking down in real time, as it was breaking down over here at $59,000, I said if target 4 does not hold, then see big red arrow down, right? And that's what we had. That was the plan of attack. That was the scenario laid out. And now I've put on, based off of the weekly chart, I've put on longer term targets to the downside because of the weekly chart had another sell signal. Could be closing back below over here at 55,000, taking out this pivot point. Already took out this pivot point a second time, right? Took it out a second time. A second, not second, second. Oh god, here we go. And then could be taking out this pivot point again on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, if you get a candle close back below here on the daily chart, it's already putting in another lower low, right? Has not done it yet. Most likely will today. The weekly chart, obviously the weekly candle just started, and it won't close until Sunday, right? Next Sunday. So 6 more days remaining in the weekly candle, but would put in a lower high that would be confirmed with another lower low, and it'll continue to put in lower highs and lower lows on the weekly chart and the daily chart over here. So added some longer term targets over here. We could probably just remove these shorter term targets now, since all 4 of them have been smashed to the downside and prices just continue to go down lower. Longer term target 4 is back down to where the 200-week moving average is. If you look at it from the wick, right, we're at about a 30% correction so far, 33.5% correction so far. We have not seen a 30% correction on Bitcoin since 2022. We talked about that. We pointed it out. Could the bottom be in? Sure. Could have the bottom been in over here? Sure. Could have the bottom been over here? Sure. Bottom in, sure, right? Could the bottom be in over here? Sure, but we don't know for sure, right? So waiting for higher probability reversals. Even over here, there is, a higher probability of a reversal, whether it's short term or longer term, that remained to be seen. But there was a higher probability reversal, bullish divergence followed by a reverse candle, blah, 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 blah. The trending dots are trending down. The weekly chart, the trending dots are trending down as well, right? The 2-week chart, let's see. Let's take a look at the 2-week chart. Breaking down as well. What else? Monthly chart had a reversal candle, right? If you take the daily and the weekly off, and you put this monthly on over here, we'd be getting a monthly close over here. And remember, we talked about it. The reversal candle over here on the monthly chart, price at least came back down the trending dots. Price has come back down to at least the trending dots so far. The trending dots were over here on the monthly chart at $51,000. On a bigger correction over here, the monthly chart at least came back down to the trending dots in 2021. Then had a double wave, right? Are we going to get a double wave? Possibly. It's possible we get a double wave, but it takes time for the ship to get turned around. You can see price came all the way back down. I don't know what's over here. Price came all the way back down the trending dots. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, right? So you had about a 3-month. If we remember, if we go back to 2021, right? June and July, I was calling out bullish divergence. June and July, I took a leveraged long position. July, I took a leveraged long position at $32,000, and I rode it all the way up to $50,000. In September 2021, I took another 10x leverage long from 44,000 all the way up and closed the position at 61,000, right? So I played both of those breakouts back there with 10x leverage. So I wasn't calling for a bear market, but definitely a pullback. Even shorted it back here, shorted it down here. Took 2 leverage longs to the upside, right? I was a lot more active on Bitcoin. I was extremely hyper focused on Bitcoin. I was trading Bitcoin at 10x leverage back then, and then had a reverse candle. Price came all the way back down the trending dots again for a second time, and that's when we were talking about the bear market, right? We were talking about the bear market back there. November had bearish divergence on the daily chart as well. And that's it, right? We're back into the trending dots. Probably not going to just flip right back around and go straight to the moon, right? If it is another longer term bear market due to the overall market crash, then it price could come all the way back down to the 200-week moving average. If it's not, if it's more of like a first wave, similar to early 2021, and there is a double wave again, it makes a higher high, right? Makes a higher high, then it still could be a 2 to 3 month correction, possibly around the trending dots. Maybe it goes below it, maybe not. Maybe it hits these targets, maybe not. We don't know how it will play out, but we'll continue to watch it. And on this next breakout, it happens in slow motion, right? If you're a swing trader on the daily chart, it happens in slow motion. If you look back, wow, this is 31 minutes on Bitcoin. Here we go, right? Quick recap. 2021 had the capitulation moment, right? Oversold, reverse candles, oversold. We've had one of the candles like that so far. Looks pretty similar to, May 2021 over here, right? putting in a lower high, lower low. I shorted it back here, right? I shorted that. And then after closing it out, called out bullish divergence, right? This took from May 19th, all the way over here to July 20th. There was bullish divergence. I called it out. And then on this breakout over here at 32,300, I remember it was 32,300. I took the 10x long position over here and end up closing the position. I didn't even have this indicator built. I just had my own strategy based off of bullish divergence, higher probability breakout, right? I didn't even have the indicator, right? We built the indicator in 2022, right? Built the first version of it like May or June of 2022. I can't remember. And then continued to add to it and build it and make it better and better and better. So I didn't have a Discord, people helping out, whatever. I didn't have an indicator built whatsoever, right? I did not. And yep, it was the perfect play over here, right? And then it's all on Twitter too. It's all on Twitter, right? Because I didn't have a Discord. And then Twitter over here called it out again, right? Shorted this over here, and you can see even on Twitter, I shorted it over here. It was a lower high, shorted it, and got within the $500 of that wick. Close out position. I was on a lower time frame, obviously, but it was breaking down on a lower time frame, and I shorted it 10x leverage again. Got within $500, closed it out, and then I scaled in, and I talked about it. I scaled in over here on a 10x leverage long again. And then in hindsight, I got out late at $61,000. I thought I was late. Still an awesome trade, top 5 trade of all time. Money wise, I was up considerably higher at $69,000, and I gave back like what did I give back? More than almost 6 digits back, right? I almost gave a full 6 digits back from over here, but locked in 6 digits on that trade again. So there we go. There we go. I thought I was late to the party, so I did a side-by-side comparison on Bitcoin versus Ethereum. I posted that in early December 2021, and then I shorted Ethereum, 10x leverage to the downside, closed it out under $2,500, shorting Ethereum down from $4,384 down to $2,500, and talked about it, covered it, talked about it, covered it. So there we are. There we are. Not sure why we went down memory lane, but went down memory lane when I was actively trading very hard to the downside. I didn't have a newborn, and I wasn't building more tools to help the snipers get into the promised land, right? Whether they all do or not or don't, it's out of my control. But all I can do is what I can do when I can do it, right? There we go. Bitcoin, right? So we do have longer term targets, weekly chart, right? Weekly chart, bearish. So it's just going to take some time for the ship to get turned around, right? It's just going to take some time. 200 week had the RSI sell signal, not seen since April 2021, right? So April RSI sell signal on the 2-week chart has not been seen. So you can see that it doesn't happen very often. May 2020, there was a buy signal on RSI, and that lasted from May 2020 for almost a year, right? There was no sell signal for almost a year. And then from that sell signal, April 2021, even though there was a huge bounce, October 2021. So it doesn't mean there couldn't be a huge bounce or a double wave, right? But then there was bullish divergence followed by a buy signal on the 2-week chart, February 2023. So you can see it's lagging time-wise, right? It's lagging time-wise compared to calling the bottom at Bitcoin with the daily chart and the weekly chart early January. You can see this is middle of February before it finally had a buy signal. And now here we are, more than almost a year and a half, more than a year. There's a RSI sell signal, and it's just breaking down, right? So we don't know how long it's going to take. What if it takes months to play out? So I'm not eager to jumping in. Uh, maybe there'll be in like a month or 2 months, maybe 3 months, similar to the 2021, where there's another massive bounce. Like if you kind of see like, what if you kind of see like 2021 come out like that and then have that massive bounce, right? And puts in bearish divergence, uh, comes down like this, right? Has that massive bounce, right? Maybe something similar. And that maybe is a bearish divergence longer term. And while price makes a higher high, right? So if price makes a higher high, while RSI makes a lower high and never has a buy signal on RSI 2-week chart, this is pure speculation. But if it were to play out similar to over here, let's change the color over here so we can see it a little bit better. Because a lot of you are on mobile phones, right? A lot of you are on mobile phones. So it's probably easier to kind of do this and make it yellow, right? Yellow. So if it did play out something similar, could have a big rally, never having a buy signal on RSI, and it would look similar to 2021, right? It's possible. It's possible. We don't have a RSI sell signal on the monthly chart, but again, even more lagging. Could in the near future had an RSI sell signal, but it took until June 2021. And then, like I said, it put in a lower high, put in bearish divergence over there on the monthly chart. And then it went into the bear market, right? So it's possible, comes down, a couple months, flips back around, puts in bearish divergence on the monthly chart, has the RSI sell signal this month or next month, puts in the bearish divergence, back into a bear market, maybe. I don't know. So that's what we're kind of looking at. Let's see. Let's get back on the RSI. So have not seen an RSI sell signal since April 2021. Don't forget there's a double wave. There was a higher high made on price, a lower high made on RSI, and that was bearish divergence. The same thing could happen on the 2-week chart again, right? Don't shoot the messenger. The messenger is just showing you what you see in the charts. Don't follow me. It could just go straight down to zero, right? I doubt it. Could go straight right to $1 million Bitcoin, right? I doubt it, right? So there you go. There you go. Somewhere in between. Somewhere in between. And again, God, if they did this again and we didn't even make $100,000 Bitcoin again, oh my goodness, right? All the talk of $100,000 Bitcoin, even talks of $1 million Bitcoin again. It's like I had targets above $100,000 again, right? I had $100,000 and above targets over here in 2021. I had $100,000 and above targets over here again. And if we never get $100,000, oh, stock to flow model. What's happening over there? Where's the stock to flow model again? That's why we got to stay neutral. That's why we got to become and remain swing traders. We got to block the noise, the narratives, the news, all that stuff, so that we can swing trade this to the best of our ability. But that is not a good sign. We called this out. We talked about it in June. There was an RSI sell signal in the 2-week chart. There was one back here. If you can't keep up with all my posts and all my live streams for every minute, get the indicators yourself. Then you can see what I see and talk about it in real time over there and make decisions off yourself, right? That's the whole purpose. Don't copy trade me. So, let's get on the weekly. Let's stay on the weekly chart today and then get into some of these altcoins, right? Ethereum, right? Came all the way back down to the 200-week moving average. What if Bitcoin comes back all the way down to the 200-week moving average? Bitcoin 200-week moving average all the way down to $38,000. That would be crazy, right? Ethereum hit another target over here, closer to target 3. What if Bitcoin hit similar target Ethereum? I posted this. A lot of people are like, why are you comparing Ethereum and Bitcoin? Well, I've been doing that since 2020, and it served me well. Sometimes it's a leading or lagging indicator for targets, and so it serves me well. So I don't care about the fundamentals of comparing asset to asset. I'm comparing asset to asset, like assets to hit like targets, right? So when I posted that, I meant target 3 over here on Bitcoin, which would be around under $45,000. I was not talking about the 200-week moving average, and then Ethereum goes down and hits the 200-week moving average. So there's 2 targets. What if Bitcoin did the same thing as Ethereum and hit the 200-week moving average and hit another key target area that Ethereum has already hit? We don't know if it will or not. Solana breaking down. And then you got all the altcoins, right? The last sell signal on these altcoins over here. Let's see. There was bullish divergence. Still in a downtrend. Took out that wick. We talked about it. Can move all those targets. If it takes out this wick over here, all those targets are based off of 24.5 cents. All those targets can be removed until there is a higher probability of a reversal. And it may be a while, right? It may be a while. This is the lowest sand has been for since June 2021, right? So took out this pivot point over here, put in a lower low. It's in a downtrend right now, right? It's in a downtrend. What else? Oh, even these higher time frame, these longer term targets could be removed because that pivot point over here was taken out. In my own personal opinion, all of these targets are gone. All of them, right? All of them. Had a nice rally, had a nice bounce. That was a huge bounce. This is a weekly chart, but from that bounce over there, 100+%, that was it. Near all these shorter term targets, 3 out of the 4 shorter term targets on that bounce were hit. But trending downward, right? Longer term targets up there have not been hit. Rocket ship above there, right? Not right now. Not right now. So you could do maybe see trend line, maybe draw this out on the weekly chart, right? So something like that. What pretty nice retracement though from the all-time highs over there at January 2022. But that's it. It's going through correction right now, and that's kind of the next possible longer term buy the dip scenario, right? Just takes time for the ship to get turned around. You've got probably a bigger arrow over here, probably more aggressive downward trend lines like that, right? You can see it could just take some time for it to play out. Could just take some time for it to play out. What is that? The 200-week moving average is right there at $4.60. Daily chart. What does that look like on the daily chart? Yeah, so September, October, December, right? End of 2024, maybe. Start to see it. We'll see. We will see. Filecoin, similar thoughts. Stay in the weekly chart over here. All the way back down. Massive move up. Lower high, reverse candles, all that stuff, and then just downward, right? Then just downward. So, has not taken out this pivot point over here yet. Could, it's possible. Mana has taken it out. So we move all of these targets to the upside. All of them. Gonna remove all of them. All go. Similar thoughts. Still bearish on the weekly chart, right? Still bearish on the weekly chart. Can remove all these shorter term targets, all of them. All of them. Longer term targets, not yet. Not yet on the longer term targets. Could be in the near future, but not currently yet, right? Still have the 200-week moving average up here like that as well. Cardano, last sell signal over there. Dot came all the way back down, hit that wick over there. Woo! Good morning, Johnny C. Welcome back. Definitely lost bullish structure. Definitely. What else? AVAX. On the daily chart, weekly chart, 2-week chart, and the monthly chart seems to be in process, right? So there it is. Without putting a label on it, bear market, bull market, whatever, it's in a correction. And it's going to be a longer term correction because based off of the higher time frames, could it flip back around? Sure. Of course it could. But the probabilities on it are lower, right? The probabilities are that it's going to go through a longer term correction. Takes a while for the ship to get turned around. And now you got the higher time frames flipping bearish, right? So yes, it could flip back around. Yes, it could. Yes, it could. Yes, it could. But the probabilities are stacked against it, right? So I don't think it flips around. Any pumps right now, while the higher time frames are flipping bearish. If you buy that rip, if you buy that dip, make sure to sell that rip, right? The old saying. That's chain link. That's fetch, right? Fetch, downtrend. Whoo! All the way back down trend. All the way back down. NASDAQ, bearish divergence on the weekly chart. We talked about it. We covered it. ANF target 1 had been hit, right? Similar to SP 500. Broke down from these upward trend lines. Got very close to longer term target 2. Oh, wow. Right? Wow. Bearish divergence going all the way back here. Has not been cleared yet. Expect bounces along the way, right? There's not even a red trending dot on the weekly chart yet. So there's that. There was a reverse candle on the 2-week chart. There was bearish divergence on the 2-week chart, followed by a reversal candle. The monthly chart had a reverse candle. The monthly chart came back and retested the trending dots already. But yeah, right now we have bearish divergence going all the way back to July. And then a lower high will be a higher probability. So expect bounces along the way. We don't know if it's just going to go straight down, hit a couple targets, then rally, then put in a lower high, and then come all the way back down. We don't know. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out. But I wouldn't be surprised, or if maybe it's not as big, like as big. Maybe because that's already a pretty big move, right? Maybe something like that, and then kind of rallies back up, right? Doesn't give you as much back as you hope for, right? If you're still in a long, and then maybe comes all the way back down and retests that 200-week moving average. Who knows? So, but as of right now, bearish divergence on the weekly chart. Had a sell signal on Friday. We talked about the pending sell signal. Candle closed back below the trading dots. 2-week chart had a reverse candle, bearish divergence. Monthly chart had a reverse candle, etc., over there. So, just bounced off the target 2. Some profit taking from the shorts, just above target 2. Got to keep an eye on them. Bears, right? SP 500 gap was filled, right? This daily chart had the bearish divergence over here, followed by a reverse candle. Weekly chart had bearish divergence, followed by a reverse candle, right? So the daily and the weekly chart at the SP 500 had bearish divergence, followed by a reversal candle, right? That's what we were talking about. That's what we were covering. Dow Jones, bearish divergence on the weekly chart. No sell signal yet. Gap over here. Daily chart had a reverse candle, lower high. We're talking about this over here, all in the live streams. Is this a bullish? Is this a bullish bull trap? Right? In hindsight, kind of seems like that. Before we keep going, let's go over here and warm up the fingers a little bit more. We're at 52 minutes. Let's smash that like button. Let's hit that repost button and throw in a quick comment over here. Help me, help you, help me. And that's it. Takes 5 seconds of your time. Just takes 5 seconds of your time. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you over there. 14 likes so far. Ugh. 14 likes, 1,174 views, and we have 14 likes. Oh, that is gross. That is gross. Had a sell signal on Friday, daily chart over here. Candle close, bearish engulfing candle, all talked about on the live stream. Gap down here at 36,000. Look, it was looking like a lower high. Bearish engulfing candle on, what was that? Thursday. Pending sell signal on Friday. And that was it. Gone. Gone. And it's gone. And it's gone. Bart Simpson over here. Lower high. Bull trap. Came all the way back down to the 200-week moving average. Unbelievable. Yeah. Discount Monday. But it's like, it might be a discount Monday, but it's not a Black Friday sale, right? Yet. Maybe if you're playing it on the lower time frames, but the dip can keep dipping. And so unless you're scalping or day trading or something like that, I'm not into catching falling knives. Bitcoin futures closes gap, a gap down to close the gap at 59,000. And then came all the way down to 49,000 and now it's got a new gap. So it gapped the gap. It gapped down to close the gap up, right? So gap filled July 15th. The gap was open from July 15th, and that was filled. Oh my god, that's what I'm trying to say. New gap left open here today. So that's Bitcoin futures, Ethereum futures, new gap left open over here from today. Wow, what a move that was. Ethereum is now down from the top wick, bottom wick, 47.5%, right? The dollar also breaking down. We talked about it. We covered it. The weekly chart is also bearish, right? So seems like it wants to come back and retest that 200-week moving average. Doesn't mean that assets are going to pump. The dollar can go through correction while risk assets can also go through correction, just as 2021. You can see the dollar pumped from June 2021 all the way to October, pumped hard while assets pumped. So it can pump at the same time and it can dump at the same time. And that's what it's doing. It's correcting right now while the overall NASDAQ and Bitcoin altcoins are dumping as well. So don't get caught up. Hey, the dollar is crashing. That's good for Bitcoin. Not always. Not always. Dollar is correcting over here in 2022. So is Bitcoin, right? So was Bitcoin. The VIX, holy moly, guacamole. You got to put this back on log, right? Flip over the monthly chart. We talked about it. We covered it. We got this breakout downward trend line over here at $13. We covered it on the daily chart. We talked about it. We said if you're a perma bull in the markets, you don't want to see the VIX break out. You don't want the VIX to break out of this downward trend line at $19. You don't want the VIX to get back above the 200-week moving average. We covered it. We covered it. We covered it over and over and over again, and then it did. And then it spiked all the way up to $65. That's insane. We had this possible breakout over here on Friday. Friday, we covered it, right? So if you go back to Friday, what is it? Friday. That's Thursday. So probably Thursday too, right? We already had talked about it back over here on this buy signal. We definitely did. Talked about it, covered it. Looked like it was finding support. Took out this pivot point over here. And then on Friday, it gapped up, came all the way back down. It was back above the 200-week moving average. And it was a pending buy signal on the monthly chart. And we said it has not been this high since 2020. Keep an eye on it. You definitely don't want it. And then all of a sudden, boom, today, overnight, last night, or this morning, $65. And this was drawn out in advance on Friday, I believe. So price is back down here. It was Thursday or Friday. I kind of drew that out just as an idea and didn't fully hit it. I don't think, let's see. Yeah, I didn't fully hit it, but that's basically what I was showing on that monthly as an idea. And lo and behold, it crushed it. So the VIX hadn't been that high or spiked that hard or had an RSI buy signal since 2020, right? No RSI buy signal since February 2020. Just want to say that again. So RSI sell signal, July 2020. No RSI buy signal on the monthly chart since February 2020. The VIX has not been this high since $65. It was March 2020. It was October 2008. So only two times on this VIX that it went above $65, right? Only two times so far, because it wasn't around on this chart. It was not around on the dot-com bubble, right? Or previous ones. So tracking the VIX, it happened in 2008, and then it happened again in March 2020. And so there you go. Take that for what it is, and we will see what happens. We will see what happens, but maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. Doesn't mean that the market is going to rally back around. Could go into a possible bear market. You can see that spiked in October 2008. So if you go October 2008 and you go back to the NASDAQ, let's see, when was October 2008? Still dropped from there and went below the 200 moving average. The correction was already on, but if you go back to October 2008, it still continued to correct downward. You can see it came back down another 35%, right? So could be the end of the correction, but too early to call it quite yet. So March 2020, where is it? March 2020. That was it, right? And then it flipped back around. So we'll see how it plays out. We don't know for sure. We'll keep an eye on the lower time frames over there. But as of right now, it is bearish on the daily chart. These targets, the bearish divergence has not been cleared yet, in my personal opinion, but a lower high has not been established yet either. Oh, man. An hour? Do I have a hat? Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. Oh. Ah. So, what else? We got a lot more to cover. Apple weekly chart, right? Reverse candle. Daily chart. Talked about it. We covered it. Let's go to the Magnificent Seven real quick. Magnificent Seven. We got a lot to go on. I don't know if we'll go 2 hours, but seems like we're definitely over an hour. Magnificent Seven filled this gap over here. Talked about it. We covered NVIDIA. Bearish divergence. Looks like a lower high. Started to break back down. Another lower high. Started to break back down. Another lower high. Filled this gap over here. Right? Filled the gap over here. Filled gap. There you go. So a filled gap. You still have a gap down here at $69. If it were to fill that gap, I think it takes some time to play out. If it fills this $30 20% gap over here, it's definitely going to take some time to play out, in my own personal opinion. But you take the stairs up, or in this case, go parabolic, and then you take the elevator down. So it's below the 200-week moving average, right? It's below the 200-week moving average. 200-week moving average may not get retested for a very, very long time. Could be faster than what we think as well. But was that it? It seems like it. No sell signal on the weekly chart yet. There was bearish divergence, right? RSI, another RSI sell signal, MACD bearish crossover, blah, blah, blah. 2-week chart had an RSI sell signal, had bearish divergence on the 2-week chart. Monthly chart, probably going to have an RSI sell signal in the near future. Also had additional bearish divergence going all the way back, right? All the way back. So, yeah, $30 with the bearish divergence. It's possible, right? It's possible. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, right. So thought $96 was a strong possibility, and it did, right? Basically, $91, right? So on the previous live stream, before it kept breaking down, it was up above $100, and we said there's a gap at 96, 69, and $39. And then it flushed down and gapped down. So still bearish on the daily chart. Doesn't mean it couldn't get a bounce along the way, right? Meta. Yep, talked about it, covered it. Got a gap down at 400 still. Let's see. Let's look at the weekly chart though. So you got bearish divergence. Could be a possible lower high playing out on the weekly chart, right? So you do have bearish divergence. The 200-week moving average is down there about 280, 290. 2-week chart had an RSI sell signal, right? Possible lower high on the 2-week chart. Monthly chart, not yet. So there you go. Candle close back below the trending dots on the 2-week chart. Just takes time for it to go through a topping pattern. Amazon had an RSI sell signal. MACD bearish pending cross sell signal pending on the 2-week chart. So that's Amazon not looking good on the higher time frames, right? Not looking good over there. 200-week moving average is about 146. Filled this gap, right? Gap fill at 160. We had that gap on there all the way over here. Talked about a possible bull trap. Had a sell signal back here on July 17th. And then here we are. Boom, boom, boom. Currently oversold. Could remain that way, but currently oversold. Microsoft, right? Talked about the bearish divergence on the weekly chart. Goes all the way back, right? All the way back. Bearish divergence, followed by a reverse candle. I'm going to take that longer term target off, right? Bearish divergence, followed by a reverse candle on the weekly chart. Started close back below the trending dots, sell signal on Microsoft, right? And then talked about possibly putting a lower high, but still breaking down, right? Still breaking down. Whoo, 2-week chart, bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle on the 2-week chart as well. RSI sell signal. This isn't one of those quick, most likely this isn't one of those quick, we're still in a bull run, blow off top. It's possible, but the probabilities are stacked against it, right? The probabilities are stacked against it. These are longer term charts. Takes longer for them for the charts to get turned around. And it was a massive run, right? This was a massive run, and now it seems like it's coming to an end. We'll see. We'll see though, because in this case on Microsoft, the bearish divergence is cleared, in my own personal opinion, but it doesn't mean that the trend is over, right? So the red trending dots are just starting to get going. You can see it could take some time to play out. Maybe it comes all the way back down, test the 200-week moving average. Has not done so since January 2023. So it's overextended, right? Tesla, pending sell signal, possible another lower high over here, right? Another possible lower high. 2-week chart, right? So we'll see. Monthly chart. Apple all catching a bounce over here. Reverse the candle up over there. What else? Google. RSI sell signal. Apple, not yet. Maybe in the near future. Reverse the candle on the 2-week chart. Google, RSI sell signal on the 2-week chart. Reverse candle on the 2-week chart. You get the idea, right? You get the idea. What a massive move that was. A buy signal and an RSI buy signal more than a year ago, right? More than a year ago. It's just overdue. It's overdue. And so we'll see. Comes back, fills these gaps at 144. We'll see. This gap was just filled at 159. Will it fill this gap over here? Will it come back down and retest the 200 moving average? Those are all possibilities, right? They're all possibilities. There you go. There you go. Do we want to look at the Bitcoin mining stock bloodbath? Right? Weekly chart. HUT. We'll probably won't spend too much time on it, but reverse candle over here. Daily chart, right? Daily chart. Oh, do I have it on log still? Yep. Let's take log off. There you go. There you go. We called out bearish divergence, followed by a possible lower high, followed by a candle close below the trailing dots, followed by a sell signal over there on HUT. What else? Bitfarm hit 4 out of 4 targets to the upside. Looked like a possible lower high. Candle closes, sell signals back below, and then that was all she wrote. Round trip all the way back down to Bitfarm. Marathon Digital. Round trip and then some on Marathon Digital after hitting 4 out of 4 targets to the upside. That was it. CLSK, right? CLSK. How many times throughout this consolidation over here, right? This sideways chop for like 2 months or more, talked about it's one of the only Bitcoin mining stocks that didn't fill that bigger gap down at $10.53. We talked about it. We covered it. Oh, I'm exhausted talking about it. Oh, I'm tired. I'm losing steam. I'm losing steam over here. An hour, 10 minutes. We're going to push forward, though. We got a couple of chart requests, and we got some more charts we want to take a look at on this crazy day, right? So the gap left open from February 8th, 2024. We talked about it. Had not been closed. Talked about it could break out to the upside. We had a possibility of that. If not, see red arrow down, right? If not, see red arrow down. And then it started to break back down over here. And then started to break back down over here. Came back down, gapped down here. So, this gap created a new gap. This gap was filled, right? That gap was filled from over here. There's a smaller gap over here at $9.35, but we talked about it all throughout here. It's one of the only, it looked a little bit different than all the other ones that were breaking out to the upside to hit one target, two target, three targets, or four targets, right? It looked different. And I called that out the entire time. It does look different. It does look different. It does look different. And then lo and behold, it does come back and feel that we didn't know for sure, right? We had two scenarios, upside or downside, right? Upside or downside. And in hindsight, it was back down to fill the gap at $10.53. Iris Energy, gonna yawn, right? Took the night shift. Bearish divergence, we called it out in real time. Candle close on July 9th. Called it out below the trading dots, called out in real time. We said on the live stream, if you took the buy signal at $5, when would now be a good time to lock in profits, right? When would now be a good time to lock in profits? When would now be a good time to lock in profits? And it's gone. And it's all gone. Do I have it on here? Right there. There we go. There we go. Right? And it's gone. I'm not a huge South Park fan. I mean, it's funny, but I don't watch a lot of it, right? I've seen episodes, right, a long time ago. I've seen them, but I'm not like an avid South Park fan, but they've got some funny ones, right? And it's gone. Sometimes it just hurts, right? Sometimes South Park, what they talk about, just hurts and hits too hard, right? So hit 4 out of 4 targets to the downside. Obviously, probably hit 5 out of 5, maybe 6 out of 6 targets. So what a move that was, not only to the upside, but to the downside. Bearish divergence on we going to make it. Most of us probably aren't. Uh, try to help as many as we can, but bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle. If you took the breakout back in May with that buy signal, and at what point did you lock in profits? Right? Was it when it was getting overbought and hitting key targets? Was it when there was bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle? Was it candle closed back below? Was it a sell signal, right? Even if you went like all that way, right? Buy to sell, still 38%. Not setting the world on fire, but still a massive move. And then, of course, maybe you lost money, right? Maybe you lost money, or you had a move. You did options, right? And the options are about to expire, worthless now, right? Ugh. So if you have a buy program, don't forget to have a sell program, right? Cipher mining. Talked about the reverse candle and the bearish engulfing candle after it was getting overbought and created a high wick over there. And then started to break back down, another sell signal, and then that was it after that. Just massive move from $8 all the way down to $3.35. Like I said, it's like catching lightning in a bottle. They pump hard, they dump hard. Don't forget to lock in profits along the way. Riot, holy moly, guacamole, took out this pivot point at $7.81. Hit 3 out of the 4 targets to the upside. Started to break back down. Sell signal, bearish engulfing candle as well on July 29th. And that was it. Closed this gap at 995, right? Closed that gap from July 12th. And that was it. Took out this pivot point over here. Hive, I mean, they all start looking the same, right? Hive. And of course, all risk assets are probably getting smashed right now. All of them. Only hit one target to the upside, break back down, sell signals. Lemonade, we talked about it. bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence, starting to break back down, and then gap down, sell signal. Boom, right? Full round trip Bart Simpson all the way back down. Woo! Back tested over here, right? Back tested that downward trend line. Never did over here. Did over here. Just market makers are just ruthless. They are just ruthless. But don't say we didn't have warnings. Don't say you didn't have reasons to possibly lock in profits, right? So that's on you. That's on you. What else? I'm tired. We'll keep going. We're going to keep going. Oh, ARKB. Wanted to show this one, right? Everyone wanted the ETFs here, right? Everybody wants the ETFs here. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon, right? We're not out of the woods yet. That was the peak March 13th on the ETFs, right? That was the peak. Had one rally, one big rally from $39 all the way to $73. Bearish divergence, lower high. Bearish divergence, lower high, right? And hit 3 out of the 4 targets to the downside. Filled this gap on July 8th that was left open over here. Still have filled this gap over here as well. That's another gap that was filled. My goodness, right? Created a new gap, right? Well, this is an old gap, but I'm going to clone it to save time, and created a new gap over here at $62, but then came over here and hit 4 out of 4 targets to the downside today. And that was it. Left those targets on because it never made a new higher high at $73. So 4 out of 4 targets to the downside have been hit so far. Still have smaller gaps open down here. Got another gap up over here. So there he is. ARKB. ARK. ARK. Ugh. What else? Hour 20 minutes. Yeah, I don't have the juice that I had from that second Celsius on Friday. That's for sure. That is for sure. What else? 10-year yield falling out. Right? 10-year yield. Bearish. High. Possible lower high. Right? Talking about it. Covering it on the daily chart. And then took out this pivot point over here. Got the 200-week moving average over there. Good for mortgage rates, right? What else? PayPal had that buy signal on the weekly chart. Possible higher low. Still possible comes up and fills this gap at $72. Still possible this is the low over here at $50. Just staying you would want to probably stay cautiously optimistic, but we did already have this gap laid out from July 29th. And in hindsight, it came back and filled that gap over there. Gap filled at $59. So will it find support and then continue upward? It's been in a bear market for a very, very long time. It was not making new all-time highs. So it's possible it does something different, right? SoFi, holy moly. Back here on the reverse candle, we talked about what if it comes all the way back down, back test over here, right? If you look at previous live streams, I did talk about that. There is a gap over here, 662, but holy moly guacamole over there. All the way back down into the wedge again, all the way back down. So there it is. Can always go much lower than what one person thinks, right? What are the Mag 7 doing? Oh my goodness. Remember we had that gap on here over here? On here over here. Remember we had the gap over there? That gap was filled at $39, right? Gap filled at $39. Ouch. If you weren't ready for that one, right? Woo. No bearish divergence, but it was overbought. Reverse candle, started to break down, started to break down, started to break down. Bearish engulfing candle over here on August 1st. and then gap fill. Weekly chart hasn't even flipped bearish yet. Yet. What else? 2-week chart. Yep. Welcome to the ETF world, Magnificent Seven. Ouch. What else? There's another one. TLT. Where's TLT? Oh, ANF. Where's the ANF? Yep. ANF. Weekly chart. Trending dots are way up here, though. Remember, trending dots are way up there. Could catch a little bit of a bounce. Where's TLT? Let me just search for it. All TLT. There we go. I definitely want to see TLT. So this is TLT weekly chart, right? Hit target 1. That's what I was thinking, that it probably hit target 1. Had the breakout back in May and June. Last buy signal on the weekly chart was July 8th. Then started to make its move last week. Strong close. Now target 1 has been hit to the upside, right? So you can always find a bull market, whatever it is, right? You can always find a bull market. And TLT is it's still under the 200-week moving average, which a lot of longer term investors or position traders probably look at that as still bearish. But as far as like a significant bounce, a low, higher low, right? See if it takes out this pivot point for a higher high. You get the point, right? Oh, I'm getting tired. What else? Yep. What else? Someone had me look at SOXS weekly chart. There's a green trending dot. Daily chart, there was a buy signal, right? So starting to make its move. We already covered it. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. High risk, high reward. They're not meant to hold long term. They pump hard, they dump hard. Most likely designed for you to lose money. So be careful. All right, let's do. I think I saw at least one request over here. Soul. Okay, so obviously you're looking at short term. That's the daily chart. So if let's see when I can close trade out. Got in this morning at 112, right? So got 110 down here, 112 there. So 112, 19%, right? So it's bearish on the daily chart. You're catching falling knives on the daily chart. The weekly chart is bearish. You're catching falling knives on the weekly chart. Doesn't mean it couldn't bounce back up to 152. It doesn't mean it won't. It could. Seems like everything is trending back down. The relative strength is leaving, right? At least in the shorter term. And if you start dropping back down to the lower time frames, yes, it was getting oversold on the 8-hour chart. Yes, it could retest the trending dots. Those are currently at 144, right? But even dropping down the 8-hour chart, you're looking at, still overall downtrend over here, meaning could go lower. You look at the 4-hour chart, right? It was oversold, reverse candle, getting rejected right at the trending dots on 134 right now. Like I said, could be catching a bounce, but those bounces might not last long. Those bounces might not be much higher because of the higher time frames are still bearish, right? Doesn't mean it couldn't possibly pump and mess around all like this and then go down lower, right? It is possible. So that's a 4-hour chart. Drop down the 1-hour chart, right? It's bullish on the 1-hour chart. So if you're taking trades based off of the lower time frame, probably want to stay on the lower time frame. And so again, you've got all that to get through, most likely. This was a target over here, key target 4. It's back up into it right now. It's possible it gets rejected, right? This is a 1-hour chart. Keep this in mind. 1-hour chart. When I'm drawing trend lines on the 1-hour chart, right? Maybe it comes back up like that. Who knows? Comes back down. Who knows how it plays out? Let's see. Yeah, so that's 1-hour chart, right? Is currently still bullish, but it's in a downtrend on the higher time frame. So that's about all I can say. So if you're in at 112, try to push it as long as possible. Probably. Trending dots are back here at 122. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. 5-minute chart. Maybe took the buy based off of the 5-minute chart. And that was at 112. I don't know. Maybe you're on the 1-hour chart. I don't know. But bearish divergence on the 5-minute chart, followed by a reverse candle, right? So whatever your strategy is, could be a possible lower high in the 5-minute chart. The higher time frames are bearish, right? So if you got it in 112, it's possible to see retracement back down to the 122. It's possible price goes lower. Blah 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 blah. Lawrence, there you go. I think that's about it. Let's see. Bitcoin 5-minute chart. Bearish divergence followed by a possible lower high. It is breaking down on the 5-minute chart. I repeat, it is breaking down on the 5-minute chart. It is crashing on the 5-minute chart, right? We could be really about the drama if we wanted to. 5-minute chart, target 1, probably target 2, probably target 3, probably target 4, right? What is this? Probably bearish divergence. Yep. Right. So you got bearish divergence, right? Possible lower high in the 5-minute chart. Probably hit target 1 if that is target 1. Probably hit target 1 on the 5-minute chart. So that's fun. We're doing the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin at an hour and a half into it. Have you lost your mind, Jesse? Have you lost your mind? I guess so. But here's the daily chart. This is where we like to be. It is ultra bearish. So if it's looking like a retracement on the 5-minute chart, while the higher time frames are bearish and ultra bearish, expect the bounces to get sold off. Right? Expect it. So, with that, I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Hope everyone had a good weekend, even though the chaos in the markets. Hopefully you're prepared for it. We did our very best to talk about it. We covered it every single day, every single sign, every single step of the way. Smash the like button if you were there. Smash the like button if you had your plan laid out. Smash the like button if you executed your plan, or smash the like button if you wish you had, right? It's never too late unless you went to zero. And then even then, you can always try to build back with $5, $10, $100, all that stuff. And hopefully you win a life trading lesson, right? So with that, have a good rest of your day, and we will see you on the next one. All right. That's about it.